Have you ever felt like you're fighting against life itself? You plan, you push, you try to control every outcome. Yet the more you tighten your grip, the more things slip through your fingers. It's exhausting, isn't it? Now, what if I told you that the key to getting everything you desire isn't in chasing, but in allowing? That true power lies not in forcing, but in trusting. Let me share a story. Javier was a high-level executive, always in control, always on top, until the day his body betrayed him. In the middle of a presentation, he froze. His mind raced, his chest tightened, panic took over. For the first time he realized, I can't keep living like this. Following a friend's advice, he disappeared into the mountains. No emails, no meetings, just silence. At first his thoughts screamed, what about work? What will people think? But then, as the wind whispered through the trees, he remembered a line from Marcus Aurelius. Accept whatever comes, even if it's different from what you expected. And just like that, clarity emerged. He didn't need to control everything. He needed to trust. What happened next? His life transformed, and yours can too. Stay with me, because today you'll learn how to relax, let go, and manifest what you truly desire without losing yourself in the process. 1. Let go and relax. Imagine standing on a beach, scooping up a handful of sand. You grip it tightly, believing you're in control. But the harder you squeeze, the faster it slips through your fingers. Sound familiar? That's life. The more you try to control every detail, the more chaos seems to unfold. And before you know it, you're stuck, exhausted, frustrated, and further away from what you truly desire. Clinging to control is like driving with the handbrake on. You press the gas, but you don't move. All you do is burn out. But the moment you release that brake, you glide forward effortlessly. The same applies to life. When you let go, you don't lose control. You gain flow. Now, letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means trusting. Trusting that not everything needs to be micromanaged. Trusting that the universe, like a river, will carry you forward if you stop resisting. And when you do, something remarkable happens. Things start falling into place on their own. Picture this. You've planned a perfect family trip, departure times, meal stops, even games for the kids. But then life happens. Traffic grinds to a halt. Rain pours down. The kids decide now is the time for a meltdown. Do you fight against reality, fuming at everything beyond your control? Or do you surrender to the moment, accepting what is? This is where Stoicism reveals its power. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart." In other words, stop fighting the tide. Release the brake. Move with life, not against it. I won't lie. Letting go isn't easy, but it's a skill, and like any skill, it can be practiced. Start small. Write down your biggest worry on paper, then crumple it and throw it away, a physical act of release. When plans go awry, pause. Breathe deeply, as if reminding yourself that control is an illusion. And most importantly, create space in your life for nothing. No schedules, no obligations, just stillness. Because in that stillness, clarity is born. And here's the truth. When you finally let go, life doesn't collapse. It begins to take shape. Not through magic, but through wisdom. The energy you once wasted on control is now free to create. So, what if today, just for a moment, you chose to loosen your grip? Not on everything, just one thing. Trust me, the moment you decide to let go is the moment true change begins. 2. Start your day strong. Have you ever noticed how some days seem to flow effortlessly, as if the universe is working in your favor, while others feel like an uphill battle? It's not luck, it's not fate. It all begins with how you start your morning. Think of your mind as a musical instrument. Would a musician step onto the stage without tuning their instrument first? Of course not. And yet, so many of us rush into the day, reacting to whatever comes our way, never pausing to set the right tone. But when you take a moment to tune yourself, everything flows in harmony. I once decided to change just one thing in my morning routine. Instead of reaching for my phone the moment I woke up, I sat in silence, took a deep breath, and set an intention for the day. Then I put on my favorite song, the kind that makes you move without thinking. Before I knew it, I was dancing in the kitchen while making coffee. It felt ridiculous at first, but something shifted. That day, frustrations that would normally bother me felt insignificant. It was as if I had chosen, from the very start, to move with life rather than against it. Seneca understood this well. He believed each new day is a gift, a blank slate waiting to be filled with purpose. He didn't wake up and react. He prepared. He reflected. He aligned himself with what truly mattered. And you can do the same. So tomorrow morning, before reaching for your phone, pause. Take a deep breath. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold, then exhale slowly for 6. Let that breath ground you. Then find something that sparks joy, a song, a stretch, a quiet moment with your coffee. And before stepping out the door, set one small intention for the day. Not a grand goal, just something simple. To be present, to move through the day with ease, to welcome whatever comes with grace. How you start your morning is how you shape your life. Will you let the day control you, or will you take the reins? Choose wisely, because every sunrise is an invitation to create the life you truly desire. 3. Your mind, your best ally. Picture your mind as a puzzle. When the pieces are scattered and disorganized, everything feels chaotic. You can't see the bigger picture, only fragments, confusion, and frustration. But the moment you start sorting, grouping by colors, by patterns, something shifts. Slowly, clarity emerges. The same is true for your thoughts. A mind cluttered with worries sees only problems, but a mind given space and calm, that's when solutions begin to take shape. A few years ago, Captain Daniel Carter faced a moment of pure crisis. Imagine being in command of a commercial airplane cruising smoothly when, without warning, both engines fail. A flock of birds strikes, and now you're plummeting toward a crowded city with over 150 lives in your hands. What would most people do? Panic, freeze, let fear take over. But Daniel did something different. He closed his eyes for a brief second and took a deep breath. No room for chaos, no time for fear. He visualized the only thing that mattered, landing safely. Was he certain it would work? Not at all, but he trusted his training, his team, and most importantly, his ability to stay calm. And that changed everything. As alarms blared and passengers held their breath, Daniel's voice cut through the tension. Brace for impact. It wasn't just a technical command. It was a statement of confidence, of control over the uncontrollable. And in that moment, he didn't just react. He manifested the outcome he needed. Against impossible odds, he landed the plane safely on the river. Every single person survived. Epictetus was right when he said, "What disturbs us is not what happens, but our thoughts about it." Daniel couldn't control the engines or undo what had happened, but he could control his mind, and that made all the difference. So how do you train your mind to be your greatest ally? Start with a simple practice. Spend 5 minutes a day sorting your thoughts like puzzle pieces. Imagine you're stressed about 3 things: a work deadline, an unresolved argument, and financial worries. Instead of letting them overwhelm you all at once, categorize them. Work goes in one corner, something you can take action on now. The argument? Another section, something to resolve later with a conversation. Money concerns? That goes into a future folder, something to tackle when you sit down with your budget. The chaos starts to fade. You may not solve everything instantly, but clarity replaces confusion. Your mind becomes lighter, stronger, more focused. And with that clarity, you unlock something powerful: the ability to shape your reality instead of being consumed by it. A calm mind isn't just peaceful, it's powerful. And when you master it, you don't just survive life's challenges. You rise above them. 4. Do things with calm. Rushing through life is like cooking on a scorching pan with no oil. It only burns everything faster, often with disappointing results. But here's the truth: calm isn't slowness, it's precision. It's doing things at the pace they require, so they unfold smoothly. Imagine this. You're preparing a special dinner, but you rush through chopping, spill sauce everywhere, and overcook the pasta while distracted. When you finally serve the dish, it's far from what you envisioned. Now, picture the opposite. You take your time, focus, and enjoy the process. The result? Not just a great meal, but a peaceful experience. The difference isn't luck, it's patience. We rush because we see others moving faster, as if life were a race. But your pace is your own. Comparing it to someone else's is like trying to make a tree grow faster by pulling on its branches. It does nothing but cause harm. Marcus Aurelius said, "The mind is like water. When it is calm, it reflects the world clearly." Even as an emperor, he didn't rush blindly into action. He paused, reflected, and moved with purpose. Before any task, stop for 2 minutes. Take a deep breath and ask, what is the most important thing I can do right now? Forget multitasking. Do one thing fully, then move to the next. Seneca reminds us, nothing is rushed by nature, yet everything is accomplished in due time. When you embrace calm, life doesn't slow down, it starts to flow. 5. Be grateful for what you have. Imagine someone hands you a box and says it contains everything you're missing in life, everything that would change your world. Excited, you open it, expecting something extraordinary, but inside there's only a mirror. At first, you're confused. What does this mean? And then you realize you don't need more. You just need to see what you already have with new eyes. We spend so much time chasing what's next that we forget to appreciate where we are. But here's the truth. Gratitude is not about having more, it's about seeing clearly. When you learn to value what you already possess, life becomes lighter, stress fades, and almost as if by design, more good things begin to flow your way. The Stoics understood this well. Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." Yet most people live as if happiness is always just beyond their reach. They fail to see that what they have now was once something they desperately wished for. Let me tell you a story. A man complained daily about his small, uncomfortable home. Desperate, he sought wisdom from an elder who told him, "Bring your chickens inside." The man was confused, but obeyed. The next day, the elder said, "Now bring in your goat." Again, he followed the advice. By the third day, overwhelmed, he returned in frustration. The elder simply smiled. "Now, take them all out." When the man returned home, he was amazed. His house, once unbearable, now felt spacious and peaceful. Nothing had changed, except his perspective. As Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor." Gratitude is not just a feeling, it's a discipline. The Stoics practiced it daily, giving thanks for the simplest things: the morning air, a warm meal, a good conversation. They understood that by appreciating what is, you stop longing for what is not. So how do you apply this? Once a week, take a quiet moment. Reflect on 3 things you're grateful for, not just by listing them, but by asking, how have these things strengthened me? Perhaps a hardship revealed your resilience. Perhaps a friend's kindness reminded you of life's beauty. When you train yourself to see the good, you stop chasing happiness and start living it. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Do not waste what remains of your life in speculating about others, but direct your thoughts to what is given to you and make it better." So tell me, what are you grateful for today? Share it in the comments. Because when you acknowledge the abundance in your life, you are telling the universe, "I am ready to receive more." 6. Disconnect from the noise. Have you ever tried listening to your favorite song in the middle of a crowded street? Cars honking, sirens wailing, people shouting. No matter how hard you focus, the noise drowns it out. That's exactly how we live today, bombarded by notifications, endless updates and distractions that make it impossible to hear what truly matters. Now ask yourself, how can you discover what you truly want if your mind is trapped in constant chaos? If you never create space for silence, how will you ever hear the thoughts that truly belong to you? Look around. How much time do you spend watching others, scrolling, reacting, consuming things that will be forgotten by tomorrow? Every distraction is like dust clouding a window. How can you see clearly when everything is smudged? But when you disconnect, even briefly, it's like wiping that window clean. Suddenly, the path ahead becomes visible. Your ideas, your desires, the opportunities that were always there but buried under noise. Epictetus said, "The free man is the one who is not afraid to go to the end of his thoughts. But to do that, you must first silence the world around you." Try this. Set specific times to check your messages, perhaps only at 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. The rest of the time, ignore them. You'll notice something incredible. Your mind will feel lighter, more focused. Another practice? Step into nature, even for 10 minutes. No headphones, no distractions, just you and the rhythm of the world. Because in stillness, clarity is born. And only with clarity can you truly manifest the life you desire. 7. Get a good night's rest. Have you ever tried using your phone when it's down to 10% battery? It slows down, apps freeze, and if you don't charge it soon, it shuts off completely. Now think about this. How often do you live your life running on that same 10%? Imagine how your days would change if you woke up every morning with your energy fully restored. You might think, "I don't have time to rest. There's too much to do." But what if I told you that mindset is working against you? The truth is, rest isn't wasted time. It's an investment. It's when your mind and body recharge, preparing you to face the day with clarity and strength. Seneca once said, "The mind must be given relaxation. It will rise improved and sharper after a good break." Like a warrior sharpening his blade before battle, you must restore yourself before taking on the world. Think of your body like a well-maintained chariot. If you never change the wheels or tend to the horses, it may keep moving for a while, but eventually it breaks down. The same goes for you. Sleep isn't just about collapsing into bed. It's about allowing yourself to reset. Marcus Aurelius understood this well. Despite ruling an empire, he made time to rest, knowing that an exhausted mind makes poor decisions. If an emperor could prioritize sleep, why can't you? So how do you do it? Start with this simple nighttime ritual. First, turn off all screens at least 30 minutes before bed. Instead, pick up a book, something light, something inspiring. Second, write down your intentions for the next day, not just a to-do list, but a guiding thought. Tomorrow, I will act with patience. Tomorrow, I will be present. Finally, as you settle into bed, take 5 deep breaths, letting go of the day. Even the brightest stars need the night to shine, and so do you. 8. Embrace your failures. Let me tell you something you might not want to hear. Failure is inevitable, but here's the truth. Failure is not the end. It's the beginning of something greater. Think of it like the first strokes on a blank canvas. At first, they seem random, messy. But with each stroke, the picture takes shape. History is filled with failures that led to breakthroughs. But the Stoics knew this long before. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Your mistakes don't define you, but they can shape you if you let them. Failure feels like a wall, but it's actually a door. The question is, will you open it? First, let go of the need for perfection. How many opportunities have you avoided simply because you feared failing? When you give yourself permission to fail, you also give yourself permission to learn. No artist paints a masterpiece on the first attempt. Every brushstroke, even the wrong ones, brings them closer. Second, see failure as a staircase. Each mistake is a step upward if you choose to climb. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What will I do differently next time? Every lesson makes you stronger, wiser, and better prepared for what's ahead. Finally, live in the present. Too often, we let past mistakes become chains holding us back. But the past is gone. The only thing that matters is what you do now. When you stop fearing failure, something shifts. You relax. The path that once seemed full of obstacles begins to clear. And in that state of calm, you begin to attract exactly what you desire. Because failure isn't an end. It's the spark that ignites something new. 9. Imagine it and make it real. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine yourself sitting in a theater. The lights dim, the screen flickers to life, and suddenly you see yourself. But not just as you are now. This is the life you've always dreamed of. Your goals achieved. The people who inspire you by your side. Moments that make your heart race. Every detail is vivid, as if it's already happening. Now let me ask you, if you were the director of this film, how would you shape the story? Visualization isn't just daydreaming. It's a tool for action. It's like writing the script of your life before the scenes unfold. As Seneca said, no wind is favorable for the sailor who doesn't know where he's going. If you don't clearly see where you want to go, how can you expect to arrive there? But here's the key. It's not enough to see your future. You have to feel it. Imagine your success as if it's already real. Not someday, not in the future, now. When you do this, your mind aligns your actions with that vision. How do you put this into practice? Spend 5 minutes a day visualizing your goal in detail. If you want to write a book, Picture yourself typing the last page, holding the finished copy in your hands. Feel the pride, the joy. Then write your goals as if they've already happened. I own a thriving business. I live with purpose. This isn't wishful thinking, it's clarity. As Marcus Aurelius said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. The life you imagine is the life you create. So start shaping it, because your best is yet to come. 10. Trust in what's coming. Imagine you plant a seed in your garden. Every day you water it, waiting for the first green sprout. A week passes, nothing. Another week, still nothing. Frustration creeps in. Am I doing something wrong? What you can't see is what's happening beneath the soil. Roots are growing, strengthening, preparing to break through. From above, it looks like nothing is happening, but in reality, everything is in motion. The same happens when you're manifesting your desires. Even when results aren't visible, your efforts are shaping the future. But most people give up too soon, mistaking patience for inaction. As Marcus Aurelius said, nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Like a river flowing towards the ocean, obstacles may slow you down, but if you keep moving, you will always reach your destination. Now, imagine you take a bold leap, leaving your job to travel the world. At first, everything goes wrong. Savings disappear, opportunities seem scarce, and doubt creeps in. You panic, trying to force a solution. But then, you remember, trust in what's coming. You pause, refocus, and let go of the need to control everything. Then, unexpectedly, a chance appears. A conversation leads to a work exchange program, exactly what you needed. See? If you had let fear consume you, you would have missed it. Trust doesn't mean waiting idly. It means doing your part, while knowing life is doing its part too. When doubt arises, remind yourself, I am doing my part, and the rest will come in its time, because the seeds you plant today will bear fruit when you least expect it. I invite you to embrace everything we've explored today. Every pause, every act of letting go, every moment of trust brings you closer to the life you desire. Remember, even the smallest step has purpose. In calm and trust, there is no emptiness, only possibility. If you've made it this far, comment, I trust life below. Like this video, subscribe, and stay with us, because the best is yet to come. See you in the next one.